And just like I told you, here she is, Lynette Shaw, the candidate for the Libertarian Party. Her name is actually going to appear on your California state ballot in November. The candidate for lieutenant governor for the state of California, the Libertarian Party. Well, congratulations. I'm really impressed by your selection by the Libertarian Party to be their standard bearer in the November elections. How does that make you feel?
I've had the most wonderful and wild year of my life, and I've gone all over the state. I've talked with groups of people I had never had any contact with before. And I have a sensible plan that I've managed to put into effect for 9 years in Marin County, and after they hear my speech, they say, "Gee, Lynette, what else you got? That makes sense." And they really are supportive of the patients, too.
Well, that's what's interesting. You said, my 9 years experience running the collective, the dispensary, whatever, in Marin County gives me the qualifications to be lieutenant governor. And I couldn't agree with you more because it's learning how to work with people and to get messages across to people and get people to do things and this kind of stuff. And so tell us about what you did there that makes it so relevant to your role running for lieutenant governor.
Well, we had to take what was an underground critical life and death situation, getting medical marijuana to dying people, and figure out a way to make it safe for everybody involved, because the drug war had disintegrated to the point they were putting AIDS patients in jail for marijuana in the Bush seniors' years. And there was a real crisis going on in San Francisco. I had actually gotten beaten up for my medical marijuana and busted when this whole time period started, and I went to jail for my medical marijuana.
And when was this? What year was this?
1991.
1991. Lynette Shaw is a pioneer in the medical marijuana. So you are talking to an icon of the movement here. We have an icon to the movement here. I hope you appreciate that our show brings you icons.
You got a candidate here that's standing up for us people.
Yeah.
Think about that when you vote. You need to get out there and vote.
I've always thought that what the California state government needed in its upper offices was people who've had experiences running marijuana dispensaries. That prepares them for anything.
It's the hardest thing in the world.
So,
one good thing the state has done is the Schwarzenegger administration has empowered and funded the state ID program. And he is consulting with people out of Marin County, so I've had some feedback into the state ID program.
But now, if he only would get the counties to issue it in Southern California, only 3 counties issue the card.
I know that's part of my platform is full implementation of 215, immediate release of all nonviolent marijuana prisoners, and full implementation of hemp to save the family farms.
So how will people get in contact with you if they want to work with your campaign or talk to you? How do they call Lynette Shaw?
How do they call Lynette Shaw? I have a website, voteshaw.info. And
that's SHAW, voteshaw.info.
And then I have the campaign phone number is 415-209-3996.
All right, we'll put that on the screen. There it is, right there.
Yeah, or so Lynette at voteshaw.info, LYNNETTE, Lynette at voteshaw.info. I've been to San Diego 4 times now in the last 5 weeks or 6 weeks. I actually met with the chief of police San Diego because I taught cop. I go and talk to the cops I go talk to the chief. That's my job. I've also been a security guard for 20 years for like big reggae rock shows. I'm the dispatcher for the hippie police at the reggae show. So if I radio in the medevac, and I go talk to the cops. So I can always go and talk to the chief. So I went and talked to the chief of San Diego and said, "Lynette, what are you supposed to do when you have 49 pot clubs open and there's a scene in the streets and what do you do?" So what did you do, sir? This is a matter of public record. He has to tell me. So we wrote a letter to Schwarzenegger and Lockyer. We wrote a letter to the feds, I guess. And that was the response, apparently. The Board of Supervisors of San Diego is separate from the City of San Diego, and I think we have a little bit more to work with the City of San Diego. The Board of Supervisors have abrogated their duty to the people in filing a false lawsuit they can't possibly win. They tried to take it to the federal court. It was remanded to the proper venue, which is the state court. The state Supreme Court, the California Supreme Court, has already upheld 215 for a whole bunch of stuff. This is a sure loser. Even the chief knows this. It's a stalling technique, so they don't have to implement during the Bush administration. It's all that it is. Everybody knows it. It's a horrible, awful thing to do. It's also legal. I'm paralegal to you guys, so This also legally places the County of San Diego into litigation, and they don't have to obey 215 because they're questioning it, even though they're going to lose. So that's why legally the DEA came in to newly recreate. It's like a battle, a skirmish. This is chess, but with lives at stake. They claimed this territory the day after the Board of Supervisors voted to file that lawsuit, December 11th, December 12th, they came in and stormed San Diego. Then 6 months later, they stormed it again. Why? Because they could. Sure. State employees must uphold state law even when in conflict with federal law. That's California Constitution. They're violating their oath of office. They are getting paid off with perks or money by the feds. Also, don't forget that many of these road cops are bucking for a federal marshal job, which is triple the pay and 100% bennies, pension. So they can take it on themselves to prove themselves to be worthy of federalization. They get a job.
I don't know if it's still true, but in the 80s, I knew people who grew and sold. And actually, that's what they claimed on their IRS loans. Because the IRS
take the money.
is going to investigate for illegal activity that's being...
Yeah, that was the 80s.
Bringing in revenue.
Well, I'm not sure what's going to happen. That's part of this whole test of my spirit. And also, it's one of the reasons I feel very confident about coming out of my hidey hole and running for lieutenant governor as the marijuana peace candidate and him for victory girl. And that's why Willie Nelson's endorsed me, and he's definitely going to be helping me out. Is that I have nowhere to hide. Everybody apparently knows my name and knows what I do, and I've confessed a million times to a whole bunch of sales on paper and paid taxes on it. So if this isn't how you're supposed to do it, then I'll stop, or they have the option of taking me away forever. So my stakes are pretty high in this game. So since I figured this out, the Libertarian said, Lynette, we need you. Well, do the people truly need someone to speak out? Yes. Is this our only shot right now during probably the end stages of the Bush Reich? The worst atrocities are committed right before the end of a war. So I think we're going to have a pretty tough harvest season. And then I believe that Congress will leave the control of Republicans and they'll cut the budget in certain areas, in particular this. So, I have a message of hope, but watch your butt. Please stay small. Please be modest. Please don't bite off more than you can chew right now, because it's very dangerous. And there's thousands of federal agents that just got a big fat budget, to come and quash us in California, but we're not going to be quashed. We got the truth on our side.
Lynette, thank you so much for joining us here today on Marijuana, Compassion, Common Sense. Best of luck with your campaign.
Thank you.
And win or lose, we hope to see more of you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you.